Okay. There we go. Got that muted. Damn it, the damn thing didn't work. Hey, I thought that shit would work. Okay, let me figure this out. Give me 2 seconds. Source is automatic. The account was already set, but it didn't do it automatically. Alright, so let's change that to... Let's try... No, it's not going to do it because of that. So I got to change it. Alright, so let's get this out of here. Where is that at? I'm going to remove it. There we go. And I'm going to try to add this source real quick because I want everybody to be able to chat. There we go. Alright, so I can add the old one. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I want to put this chat up for anybody who would like to chat. There we go. Copy. And let's do Control V, connect. Hopefully that will pull in the chat. Yes, no, maybe so. Nope, that ain't all what I need. I guess, this is the equal sign. Alright, let's see if that's it. Nope. Perfect. Oh wait, I think it's this one. Alright, I'm gonna try this one more again. That didn't work either. Let's just try this guy. Hey, how's that music? Is it too loud? Oh, boom, there we go. Alright, let's move this guy right here. It is really not doing what I want it to do. Yeah, it's just gonna get bigger that way. So yep, it ain't gonna let me move it. Alright, so we'll see how that works. Let me move this guy over here. Get this young keyboard out the way. What's good, people? How y'all doing out there? Alright. Music is fine? Cool. Alright, let me turn that down a little bit on my end there so it ain't too loud for me. And good. Alright guys, so what I wanted to do was I've been wanting to do this host the show for a while, and now that I have the opportunity to do it, we are here. So what I want to do is I'm going to go over, because at first I was debating on how I was going to do it. If I was just going to say I'm just going to review them on my own and then just put the video out. But I changed my mind. I said, hey, why not do it with you guys? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to review hosters, talk about hosters a little bit. If you guys got any questions or anything like that, I will gladly answer them, and we can go from there. So I wanted to definitely be quick. I'm thinking maybe 20-30 minutes at the most, but if you guys got some questions, we can definitely chop it up. So first and foremost, we're talking about holsters. We're talking about actually one of the main components to actually carrying your firearm. So when you're talking about your firearm being on your person, being safe, you got a few things that you have to consider. First and foremost, I will say this just to get this part out of the way. One of the most important things that you can actually use, that you need to use with carrying your holster, is this right here. This is not just a belt. This is a gun belt. And the purpose of having a gun belt, a belt that is specifically made for you to carry a holster on, is because a gun belt will not bend. So when you look at this belt, it's pretty thick. This is made out of leather, but this belt does not bend. It doesn't crush. So I can squeeze it. I can slap as many holsters as I want to on this belt, and it won't bend or buckle, okay? So whatever you do, whatever kind of holster you have, always have a very good belt to go along with it, because that belt is going to play a huge part in how your gun fits on you, how it sits on you, wherever you have it on your hip. It definitely matters. So spend the extra money. Yes, they are a tad bit expensive, but it is well worth it when you're talking about having your proper rig set up on you. So make sure you get a good size gun belt. Make sure you get a real gun belt. This is actually a crossbreed belt that I have. I have one that this is like the standard, and I also have a dress belt too. I can wear like with my suits and stuff like that. That belt is just, it's about the same, but it's just a little bit thin. It's about right there when you're talking about thickness. So it's about right there. It's just a little bit thinner than this one, but the thickness is still there. So when you look at that thickness of that belt, that's real leather. All right, that leather, this belt does not bend. It doesn't buckle. Okay, so you want to have yourself a good belt first and foremost. I also wear an instructor's belt, which is the nylon belt. I actually have it on right now. I don't want to stand up and take my belt off, but I actually wear that as well. So make sure whichever one that you have, make sure that the belt can't be crushed. If you can take that belt with your hand and you can squeeze it and it begins to buckle or fold, you don't want it. All right, so make sure you get yourself a good gun belt first and foremost. Now there are, even when you look at the law enforcement size belts, and I got my law enforcement rig, it's over there, but even the law enforcement belts, they're actually a little bit thicker because you hang so much stuff on your law enforcement belt. You got your cuffs, you got your little pouch for gloves, you got your radio clip, and you got your firearm and all that kind of stuff, and that goes all the way around, not to mention your mags that you put on there as well. So you have a little bit thicker belt, but it is very durable as well. And those, like, I think mine is basket weave. Yeah, because that's what we wore. We wore basket weave. But when you have that belt on too, it's built to hold a lot of stuff. That belt doesn't budge. It won't buckle at all. So make sure first and foremost that you have a good belt. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the different types of holsters that I have. And then I'm going to actually just go over and just give you the good and the bad and the ugly about some of these belts. So first and foremost, one of the first things, or one of the, well, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to show you some of my least favorites and work my way up. That's what I'll do. So this here, first up, is basically what we would call a universal holder. This is made by Bianchi. This is actually my dad's holster now that I'm looking at it. This was my dad's holster. But this is a standard universal holster. That means just about any type of firearm will fit this. I can put my Beretta in this guy. See, it just does that. It's just a basic holster. It holds the gun. That's it. All right. It's made out of like a suede. It's a leather. It's like a suede. Has one little clip that you slide on. You see that guy right there? And what that holster does, this is literally just a holster. You put this on, slide your gun in there. It'll take just about any firearm that you have will fit in this. This is what we call a universal holder. Good thing about this is that any gun will fit it. It's not that expensive. Bad thing about it is the level of retention. It varies because it's based on being up against your body. So you don't have any like guaranteed retention with something like this. This has a snap. Basically, so when you got this on and you want to, draw your firearm, you just take the thumb action, pop that guy off, and boom, gun comes out of your holster. Some people might like something like this. I use this only for like, man, just to keep a gun in a holster, because I believe that when a gun is not on you, it should still be in a holster, just to keep the trigger from being touched or pulled or whatever. So if I got a gun that's not in the safe, I'll put it in this guy just to have it sitting there. You know, if I'm sitting at a table or something, I just want to have a gun next to me, I would just do it. So that's what this holster is pretty much. It's basic, classified as a holster. This is what it is. That's what it does. It just literally covers the gun. It's more like a sheath for a knife. Literally, that's pretty much what it's like. So it's just a universal holster. That's that guy. So next up is my ankle rig. Now this is an ankle holster. This is made by, who makes this? Is this? Oh, this is Crossbreed as well. So this holster here, this goes around your ankle. It is a universal holder for small firearms. So when you're talking about your subcompacts, like my subcompact Beretta here, like this guy, and yes, this gun is clear. There is no magazine in it. Bam. All right. This guy will fit in, will take just about any type of small firearm that you have. So when you want to look at this, and we can take this guy, sits pretty much just like that. Yeah. So it sits pretty much just like that. Covers up the firearm. But one of the best things about this, because I've worn ankle rigs before, this is what I used to always wear when I was in law enforcement. This was my drop gun, if you will. In case somebody got the drop on me and took my gun, this is the gun I would have. I love this holster because it is very, very comfortable, because this is all up against your body. It's up against your ankle. And then you had this piece here that will come up and right alongside your calf. There was padding, extra padding in this. Crossbreed makes a very nice ankle holster. And this would sit on my leg, and I would literally, aside from the weight of my gun, I would forget that I had this guy on. I really would. So this was a very comfortable ankle holster to have. Very, very comfortable. Crossbreed, man, I swear by them. And pretty much what you would do is you would take the Velcro, because a lot of the cheaper ankle holsters, the problem that you'd have is, yeah, you'll have something like a little Velcro that will come around, but as you move, if you're running, walking, whatever, you're wearing it throughout the day, it will begin to ride down on your ankle, because you don't want it like right on top of your boot or right on top of your shoes. You want it up a little bit. This one allows you to, once you take the Velcro, get it around your ankle, you could come back with this guy and loop it through, and you could tighten up the tension on it. So you would stick this guy through here like that, and you could come back. Oh, I'm sorry. It goes around the ankle the other way. Yeah. So it will go all the way back around, and then you could tighten up the tension. So once you swing this guy back around, you flip it over. So you already had your Velcro on there, but this allows you to tighten it. Or if you wanted to loosen it a little bit, you could. But this kept it from riding. This part here, because it was higher up on your thigh, this would keep it from riding too. So you would take this, put this around like where your knee is or right below your knee, wrap that guy around, very good Velcro, and it would secure the firearm. So that would pretty much be the rig that would be on your leg, on your ankle. And then this was one of the things that I liked about it too. This piece of Velcro here, the way they made it, very easy to come off. So you have this on here, you need to get to your ankle, you just literally take your thumb and just slide it right across, comes right out. All right. So this one was one of my favorites. This is probably the best ankle holster I've ever had. The other one that I had, it actually was old and it was torn up, and I wound up throwing it away. Yeah, I believe that one got thrown away or it got torn. I think the dog might have ate it, but whatever. This one's got, but this one is definitely one of the nicest ones I've had. Crossbreed ankle holster. I liked it. This guy here, we can move this guy back. This guy here, this is a Galco, and this is a leather form-fitted holster. This is made specifically for a certain type of firearm, which is for my Beretta. This was actually one of the first holsters that I bought. One of the good things about leather is that leather is very, very comfortable. When you have it pressed up against your body, when your body's sweating, the oils from your body, leather is very, very comfortable. So when you talk about having something on your hip, You want something that is comfortable. You want something that is going to allow you to draw fast and that's not going to be a hindrance. Now, you can't have something that's just perfect to where you don't feel it and it's just so small that, you know, you never notice it. But you definitely want to make sure that you have something that's comfortable, because that way you will stay in the habit of wearing it. All right. Notorious B, is there a preferred footwear that I use with that? With the ankle holster, I used the boots I would wear. I wore Bates because Bates made a wide boot. 511 makes some great boots as well, but I used to wear Bates pretty much the majority of the time when I was working in law enforcement. Other than that, I pretty much any other my gym shoes or something like that, I never had a problem with it because that holster was able to sit up off of my shoes or off of my boots, so I was good with that. But getting back to this guy, this is your Galco here. This is made for a Beretta. If you look in here, you can see that this leather is definitely very tight. It's definitely made to fit the firearm. It's form fitted, very good stitching around here, so this doesn't fray. This holster is actually at least 7 years old, 8 years old. And then this will go on your belt, and when that would snap on there, boom, it would put a slight little cant, just a tad bit forward on your hip, which was good because that way when I went to draw, this guy would be like right there where I wanted it. So this was a very good holster. It's very comfortable. The form fitting also gives you some decent retention. Retention is very, very important when you're talking about your firearm, because you don't want to be running or wrestling on the floor and your gun slide out and fall out on the floor. That won't happen with this particular firearm. With this thin guy here, that can definitely happen with this one. This has literally no retention. None whatsoever. So when you think about retention, that is very important, and there are certain types of holsters that have better retention, some than others. So that's the leather Galco. Galco makes some pretty good holsters, definitely very quality leather. This is horsehide, 100% genuine leather, very good. This is something that will, once you first get it, it'll be a little stiff, but as you wear it and as time goes on, you will have this guy and it'll get nice, soft, and comfortable, but still keep that retention. So that's definitely one of the reasons why I like this holster. Very good holster, in my opinion. Never had any problems with it. So if you want something that's small, something that's comfortable, this is definitely a good way that you can go. All right. Moving right along, let's move in. So we pretty much talked about like leather holsters. We talked about nylon holsters, which was the ankle grid. One of the third materials that you will come in contact with is one of the newer ones, and I think is one of the best materials that they've ever used to make holsters with. And that material is called Kydex. Let me pull this guy out. This was my first Kydex holster. This guy here, this is the Galco straight Kydex holster. This is all Kydex. I want to say it's called, this is not the King Tuck. My wife has that. But this is just a Galco standard Kydex holster. This is actually made for Glock 17s and Glock 22s. Now, one of the beautiful things about Kydex is that Kydex is form-fitting. It's made specifically for the firearm, and it also gives you great retention. So if you look right here, this is the retention screw. This is what you use to tighten the retention to see how the gun slides in and out. Because when you take this gun and put it in the holster, you should get this. Did you hear that? That's that retention. That gun is sitting in there. It's not going anywhere until you go to pull it. And then once you pull it, let me pull it. There you go. Boom. It comes out. Now, when this is on your hip, it slides in and out a lot easier. But you definitely want to have that retention there so that you can get that gun in and it's locked, not going anywhere. And boom, you got this guy sitting there. This is an inside the waist band holster. So this will sit inside. These two little loops will go on your belt. And that guy will sit there. You know what? Let me move this guy. Oop, wrong one. Nope, that is not the one. There we go. Nope. It is not going to let me move that guy. Oh, I got to go back up here. I'm sorry. Chat. Boom. There we go. That's better. Yeah. So now you can take this guy, like I said. It's very, very safe. This guy locks in. You don't have to worry about the gun sliding around when it's on you. When you want it, boom, it's right there. It comes right out. And when you don't, it locks in and it's good. It's not going anywhere. The only drawback about this gun, about this holster, ain't no drawback about that gun. I love that Glock. The only drawback about this holster is that this holster, because it's Kydex, it's hard. And you're gonna always feel it. It's always on the side. It's always gonna be, you know, it's not gonna give. It's not gonna conform to your body. So this guy's gonna be very stiff. If you move the wrong way, you got some weight on you like me a little bit, it might poke you on the side. Can be uncomfortable. However, with this one, like I said, this was the first one that I bought. I love this holster because it gives me one of the best advantages with having that holster is speed. This is something that is very fast to draw from. You can take this guy and you can slide this guy in and out, no problem whatsoever. This guy's going to let that gun sit and it's going to keep it tight in there. And then when you're ready to pull this guy out, it's coming out nice and smooth. Think about leather holsters like this guy here, this universal guy, because it's so flimsy, this guy can actually hinder your draw. It can slow your draw down. Being in that leather, because it is soft, there's no stiffness to it, so it can definitely hinder that draw a little bit. But with this guy, it's very fast, very, very fast. So you can take this guy here, have that guy there, pull that guy out, smooth, just like that. There's no give, there's nothing holding it back. Once you break that retention, that guy's gone. Another thing with these guns, with these holsters too, is that with Kydex, you can heat Kydex up with a standard heat gun, and you can mold a little bit. Like if I wanted to make this a little bit tighter after my retention screw maybe didn't get it tight enough for me, I could heat this up with a little heat gun, literally take my finger and press this in, let it cool, and boom, it's good to go. I can say, oh, it's too tight. I can heat it up again, take my finger on the other side, push it back out a little bit, and I can do that. So that's one of the good things about Kydex. It's very, very what you would call malleable. Yeah, look it up. Look it up, nigga. But yeah, it's definitely something that you can shape and you can mold. You can do a lot with Kydex. That's why I like Kydex so much. Moving right along. Now this holster here, you know what? I'm going to get this one out the way because this is what I call one of my, well, I can explain this holster a little bit better once you see it. So this is, I can hold this one up. This is a shoulder rig, right? Now, this guy sits on you like this. You put this behind you like that, boom, and your firearm will sit right here. Now, let me show you this guy. This is for my Beretta PX4 Storm. All right, and that guy sits right in there just like that. All right, and then this has a snap retention on it. So you take the little retention, boom, just like that. The guy doesn't go anywhere. It's nice and tight. Because it's molded leather, it definitely has some good retention on it. And it sits on your shoulder and it's under your arm. One of the reasons why I bought this holster, and I'm going to tell you just to be honest, because it is freaking amazingly cool. It's cool as shit. I love this holster and I'm going to tell you why. I am a huge Miami Vice fan. Back in the day, Crockett and Tubbs, I loved it. I love Crockett and Tubbs. And Sonny Crockett had a shoulder rig and it was sweet. He carried, I think, a 1911 in his, but it was sweet. Then my brother, he had a shoulder rig when he was in law enforcement. Loved it. It just looked so fucking cool. I love the way a shoulder rig sits. So I bought this one. This was definitely one of the nicest ones that's out. This is this Gal? No, this isn't Galco. This is Falco. So you got Galco and you got Falco. But this is an all-leather rig. It is very comfortable. The only thing about this is concealment-wise, you got to wear like a jacket or something with it, unless you're just in law enforcement and you're just going to do your thing. But when it comes to just hitting that little thumb release right there to pull this guy out, comes right out. And when you got it under your arm, you know you always got to do the uplift and then pull or whatever. But definitely one of the reasons why I got this holster is because, like I said, it's just freaking cool. However, one of the best uses for a shoulder rig are for people who ride motorcycles. This is a very good rig for that. So if you're a person that rides a motorcycle, you're a person that's on your bike and you're out on your hog, your Harley or whatever, or your crotch rocket, this is something you can wear under your vest or under your jacket. You have a leather jacket on, you can put this guy right up under there and you can access this on your bike. If you're like on a crotch rocket and you're leaning forward, maybe a little difficult for you to get to your hip. But if you don't want something on your hip all the time, because that'll actually show in on some bikes that you may be on, You can get something like this, and this will actually be able to be concealed. You can have it under your jacket, and you can do that. You got a vertical one, Jason? Yeah, I've seen the vertical ones too. Only reason why I didn't get a vertical one, because I don't like the pull on that, because you got to pull straight up. I don't like that. I want to be able to pull out. So that's the only reason why I didn't. But yeah, this is very, very nice. So I like I said, I'm just crazy about this style holster. I've just always loved it. When I was a kid, I liked it. And being an adult, being able to get it, it was sweet. You know what? Mine is vertical, show, or could shift. Yeah. Yep. I think this might even be able to be switched. It looked like it can. Or you can put this on your hip. Oh, no. Yeah, you can take this and put this on your hip. So I can take this off, and I can run my belt through this too, and put this guy right on my hip, I believe. Yeah, I can put this guy right on my hip on my right side. So that's another cool thing about this holster too, is that I can take this off, take these straps off, and run my belt through this and put this on my hip just the same. It would be outside the waistband, but I can still put it on. And then the other cool thing about this holster is on this side, you got a double mag well pouch. So I can literally carry approximately about 35 rounds with this particular rig. So I would have my mag, it's in my firearm, and 2 extra mags on the other side. And the reason why I would always carry it with the 2 mags on the other side, because it gives it balance when you're wearing it. So when you got this guy on, let me flip this guy around here. So when you got this guy on and you're wearing it, is that it? Nope, there we go. So when you got this guy on and you're wearing it, you don't want to have the balance of the firearm. So you got this guy on one side and this guy on the other side. The firearm will like put a little shift on it, but when you got your mags in, it's perfect balance. Perfect balance. So that's one of the sweetest things. I love this holster. This is something I actually wear this holster like when I'm out cutting grass or something like that, especially when it's like cool out and I can wear like my hoodie or something on it. I'll wear this. If I'm doing like work or something like that around the house, I'll throw this guy on. If I'm like, you know, doing something where I know I'm going to be like bending over and all that kind of stuff, don't want my gun showing, I like wearing this holster. So that's my shoulder rig. Next up, you know what? I'm going to go here and then I'm going to go there. Now, next up, this is more of a tactical rig. This is only something for those people that are in law enforcement, or if you're going to be in an environment where your gun can be shown no matter what, or you want your gun to be shown no matter what. So if I'm going hunting, or if I'm going out and I'm going to go tactical, I got to go, if I'm working in law enforcement, something like that, this is a thigh rig. And one of the things about the thigh rig is that it is very, very cumbersome. It's a little big, but it gives you the ability to have a beautiful draw coming from your thigh. I love this holster. I've only got to wear it like maybe 2 or 3 times. This is awesome. All right. And one of the things about this fits my Glock 2. This fits the 17 and the 22. Let me hold this guy up like this so you can see the full deal. So that's pretty much how it sits. This sits on your thigh just like that. Boom. It's like right here on your leg. Actually, let me see if you can see it. If you can. I don't know if you can. Nope, you can't see it from here. But either way, this sits on your thigh just like that. And this guy goes in. Boom. Hear that lock? Retention is amazing. This has probably the best retention system that I've seen when it comes to a firearm, because it gives you the ability to have a locking retention. See, this gun ain't going nowhere. I don't care. You can dangle it upside down. It won't go anywhere. You can pull it all you want because it's on your thigh. It's more accessible. That's why I like this holster, because anybody can't just come up and just take your gun out. You actually have to hit this button right here in order to release the firearm. Comes out beautifully, and it sits right where your trigger finger should be. So when you hit that, it's sitting right there. So you see how my finger is still not on the trigger? It's resting on the side where the slide is on the frame. That's where your finger should rest. Some people even put it up here just so they can feel that, but when you pull your firearm out, it should always be resting on the side of your slide or your frame, all right? This is specifically designed to do that. So when you got that gun in there and when you hit this little button here, that little latch there, that releases the tension. And when you slide your gun out, your finger's already right there and you're ready to rock and roll. All right. Next is going to be finger on the trigger. but I love this holster. This boy is sweet. It has great, so you got these guys here. That actually goes to your belt, and then this actually wraps around your thigh and locks in. Holster doesn't budge. You can run, jump, dive, whatever. So it's beautiful when you're talking about just being able to have something on your thigh that's easily accessible, and you can, boom, pull that firearm out and be ready to rock and roll. This is a great thigh holster. This is This is Serpa. This is the Black Hawk Serpa holster. So I definitely love this. This is one of my favorite holsters. I don't get to wear it that often, but I definitely love it. If I'm going hunting, if I'm gonna be out in the woods or something like that, I'm gonna have this boy on. This is my guy that I'm gonna wear as my thigh rig. I love this. So let's see here. Moving right along to one of my next favorite guys. You know what? I'm gonna get it for this one. This is the Black Hawk Serpa. Boom. This is an all Kydex outside the waistband holster. So the other one that we saw, the Galco, which was this guy here, this was the inside the waistband holster. You can actually switch this around and convert it to outside, but I have it set for inside. This is a Serpa Black Hawk outside the waistband holster. I have one of these for my Beretta and for my Glock. This is the one for the Beretta. All right. Same type of technology as with the thigh rig. Has that lock and it sits in there. So this guy goes, they have the actual back piece where your belt can go in through there, right? And this little piece here, you stick that inside the waistband, and this little hook here helps hold this thing in place on your hip. It doesn't move, doesn't budge. It's beautiful. When you think about like a cowboy, like in the Westerns, how they have that gun, it always sit on the outside of their hip. This is beautiful for that. Perfect. So when you're talking about this guy, same type of concept. You pull that guy out, boom, there you go. Right there. But when it's locked in, it ain't going nowhere. All right? Can't do nothing with it. It's just sitting there. Now, the other gun had the cover and all that kind of stuff that came up over the sights. That's because you don't want that to snag on anything when you're walking around or you're moving around. You don't want it to snag on something, so that's why it has that extra cover. But this guy here, this is perfect. I love this holster. This is my second favorite holster to carry. This is awesome because it locks in place and it gives me that speed. If I need to draw, boom, I'm here. Very quick draw on this gun. This is beautiful, all right? You just got to make sure that you keep this guy covered. I'm the type of person where I say I don't ever want to show my gun unless I'm in a situation where I'm at a range outdoors or something like that. That's fine. Or if I'm out hunting in the woods or something, that's cool too, although I ain't ever hunted before. But in me thinking about being out there like that, I would want to have something like this. But this here is beautiful. Yes, I do, Jason. I wear this when I'm cutting grass. This is my other one that I wear. So when it's hot out and I can't wear the jacket over my shoulder rig, this is what I put on. Because this guy here is very quick. I've actually had this on when I've had to pull this out on my neighbor's dog. And was getting ready to shoot the dog. And I told him, hey, you better get your dog. If you don't want your dog shot, you better get your dog. That's pretty much the conversation that we had. But yeah, when you look at this, this is also the carbon fiber version of it. Very nice. Scratch it, whatever. It's very durable. Like I said, Serpa, the Black Hawk series of those holsters, they are very, very, very high quality. And like I said, you got that locking mechanism here. That gun won't come out until you push that little button down like that. That releases the tension, and boom, you can get that slide right on out of there. All right? So this is awesome. I love this holster. I swear by this holster. This is the Black Hawk Serpa. And pretty much they make them for just about any size, any type of gun that you want to carry, they got them for it. So when you look at the inside of this guy, this is all Kydex. Yeah, mine is dusty, but whatever. But this is all Kydex. And like I said, one of the best things about an all Kydex holster is that it gives you speed. It's a fast draw. You don't have to worry about, you know, a slower draw because it's leather, or an awkward draw because it's nylon, and you don't have to worry about that. This is form fitted to your firearm, so it goes in and out with ease and it stays put. Love this. Now, moving right along to last but definitely not least, this is my favorite holster, and this is for my Beretta. So this particular holster that I'm going to show you now, this is the one that I carry every day. This is my everyday carry holster. This is the holster that I swear by when it comes to just having the best of both worlds. With the R. Kelly and Jay-Z, best of both worlds, you want this guy right here. This is the Crossbreed Kydex and leather holster. Beautiful combination. Whoever invented this holster, whoever thought of this concept, they are geniuses, because what it does, it gives you literally the best of both worlds. It lets you have the comfort of genuine leather. It lets you have the comfort of the leather being, you see how this is like molded, how it's curved to my hip, and I can get this, when I put this guy on, it stays right on the side. It don't move, it don't budge. You can adjust it with your different cants. You can adjust it with the height of where you want your gun to sit on your hip. Beautiful. And then you have the Kydex piece on this side, which gives you that same type of speed and retention. So that's why I'm saying it gives you the best of both worlds. With the speed of Kydex, the comfort of leather, you can actually wear this holster all day. I literally forget that I have this holster on. Quite often, I've almost gone into buildings like courthouses and things like that and had to remember, oh shit, I still got my gun on. This literally lets you forget that you have your gun on. Now, when you first buy one of these, this is a Crossbreed one here, and I think Crossbreed is making the best Kydex and leather holsters. I love Crossbreed, very high quality, very good customer service. It may take you a minute to get it depending on how their orders are, but these guys are put together by hand. They swear by their product. They stand by their product. If you have any problems, although I have not, but I've heard if you got any problems, they will take care of you with no issues whatsoever. One of the things about this guy too is the retention that's on here. It's a little bit different than the Serpa. It's not a locking retention, but it's definitely one that you can use where you can adjust it with a heat gun. Now let me warn you, so won't nobody say, I bought one of these and I tried to adjust it with the heat gun and I messed it up. With a heat gun on this, you need to be very, very, very careful. Okay? And I believe that you can even go to, yeah, I think if you go to a gun shop, a gunsmith can do it for you as well. But you can heat this guy up as well, and you can push down on it a little. And then I actually had to do it to this one because I wanted it a little bit tighter so that I had a snug lock with this. So once I get this guy on here, boom, it's good. And like I said, this guy is definitely fast. You can pull this guy out with no problem whatsoever. This guy is coming right out of the holster. And that's something when you're in a situation where you may need to pull your firearm, the last thing you want to be doing is fumbling around on your hip. You want to be able to pull this guy out. So I got this guy for my Beretta because this is one of my everyday carries, my PX4 Storm. But I also got it for my Glock, which I have on me right now. And it carries my Glock 22 and my 17. But this holster here is by far my favorite. I highly recommend this. And you can get this holster made for a full size, compact, whatever you want. They even have because this is the full size here, they even have one that has a little bit of a more trimmed leather top here to keep this from like digging into your skin, because this is up against your skin the whole time. And this part of the firearm, you know, so it won't stick inside of you or anything. You can actually get one that's a little bit more well trimmed for even tighter concealment if you want. But Crossbreed, leather, and Kydex, I would recommend that as far as a combination when it comes to holsters, because a lot of times people will carry guns or don't carry guns because they don't want to have it on them. Oh, I don't want to have this gun on me because it irritates me or it agitates me. I don't like the way the leather feels or the Kydex feels on me, so I don't carry it. When you got something like that, like I said, you wear that holster every day for about a good month and let that leather get broken in, and once it starts sitting on your hip right, you will forget that you have it on. It's better than nylon, it's better than just straight Kydex, and it's better than just straight leather. That leather and Kydex combination gives you the best of both worlds. So, was that it? I believe so. So, let me just review real quick. Make sure that number one, first and foremost, you have yourself a good, real gun belt. Alright? Number two, make sure that you get a holster that has good retention. Number three, you want to make sure that you get a holster that has a good draw on it. The fastest draw you can possibly have on a holster. And that's going to be probably first and foremost is just straight Kydex. Probably two is probably going to be leather and Kydex. Then coming in at three would probably be maybe not leather or nylon. So Yeah, and leather, it definitely does last. So other than that, I hope everybody enjoyed this. Do anybody got any questions about their holsters or about a holster for me? Because I thought I showed all. Oh yeah, I got an extra one over here because that's for my Glock. That's why I'm like, wait, I'm counting holsters, and I'm like, no, that one that didn't show. But the other one that I have is the Serpa holster for my Glock, which is the same exact holster. It just has a different type of mold on it for the Glock. So, but yeah, that thigh rig holster, I love that guy. And the belly band. Belly bands are okay. Only thing I don't like about a belly band is the way that some of them sit. I don't like that. I don't like that. Now, if you're the type of person that don't have like no gut and you want something that's concealable like that, belly bands can definitely work. I got me a pouch. I got me a stomach. So if you got something that's and like some people too, you'll see them with a Kydex where they have the front carry where it's like straight in front. I personally can't do that because, like I said, I got a gun. But depending on, you know, what your preference is, the position of your gun, position of your holster, that's all relative to the carrier. You just want to have something that you know that you can get to and something that you can actually protect if you get into a scuffle. One of the reasons why I always carry on my hip is because if I ever get into a scuffle, I can lay down on this hip and my gun can't be pulled out. When you got your and I can still fight and I can scuffle and do whatever the case may be. When you have a firearm that you carry like in a pocket holster or something like that, those can sometimes be problematic, but they can work. When you have those people that have the little pouches, the little front pouches, those are okay. However, if somebody knows what's in there and knows what that is, and they see you going in there, you can have a fight on your hands for that particular firearm. So that's why I don't recommend it. Do I have an ankle holster? Yes, I do. You must have just came in late, Princess. But yeah, I do. I got the Crossbreed. And this is my nylon holster that I have. It's the Crossbreed guy there. Yep. Yeah, that's my ankle holster for my Beretta PX4 Storm Subcompact. That's for this guy here. So yes, I do. But yeah. Other than that, I hope everybody enjoyed this. If you got any other questions, shoot me an email, ugoa1791@gmail.com, or you can just put it in the show down here. It's all good. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. And let me, so I won't forget this time, let me thank those who actually donated to the show the last time. When actually I was on the relationship rehab. So let's see here. Who do I have? I think it was like 2 donations I got. 2 awesome people decided to donate to your boy. Yup, and that was from Darcy Miller. Thank you so much for your donation. Let me see here. Yep. I appreciate that. Oh, and Princess. Thank you so much, Princess X. I appreciate you, girl. She donated to your boy too. That's what's up. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I hope that this has helped somebody. If you have some questions about a holster or anything like that, he said you hold your stomach in. That's funny. If you got any questions or anything like that, let me know. Shoot them to me. Just like I said, remember that you want to get a good belt and a good holster. Holsters, don't think that you're only going to have one. Holsters are relative. You will have holsters like me. I started out with one holster. Started with 2 holsters. I had my dad's old holster, and then I went and bought a leather holster for my dad's gun. But as it progressed, I wound up getting as many as you see now. You're gonna buy holsters, plain and simple, especially if you have multiple guns. If you have multiple guns, you're definitely gonna buy multiple holsters. So it's okay to have a collection of holsters. Don't think you're gonna buy one holster to rule them all. Don't happen that way. So just be prepared just over the years to try different things. As long as it's something that you can carry and you can access your firearm, you can keep your firearm safe and it has good retention, good to go. Depending on what you may be feeling that particular day or at the particular time can determine what you carry. So remember, it's always better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Thank you guys for checking out the show. Thank you guys for always supporting me. I love y'all. Y'all be safe and keep your head on a swivel. Keep your eyes open, people. Love you guys. Peace. And I'm out.